Excuse me.
A man sneezed, and in the next second, countless nanobots resembling scythes appeared in the air. They quickly entered the human brain, killing people without a trace. It turns out that in the distant year of 2047, humans had already broken through technology barriers to achieve self-upgrades. Upgrades could help people gain superpowers like X-ray vision to see through walls or arms that could be used as machine guns. In this crazy world, everyone had undergone some degree of self-upgrade to change their lives. However, Jack refused to take shortcuts. He didn't believe upgrades represented human progress. Instead, he felt they caused people to degenerate. For this reason, Jack had always insisted on making a living by repairing cars the traditional way. Little did he know that he was about to become the most advanced modified human in the world. One day, as usual, Jack was delivering a car to a client. To make it convenient to get home, he brought his wife and her smart car along, thinking he could ride back with her after dropping off the vehicle. He had no idea that this client was no ordinary person. It was actually David, the founder of the world's largest AI company. Jack's wife was quite surprised by this because she also worked in the AI field. David was a legendary figure in the entire industry, and she deeply admired him, endlessly praising his research achievements. David, upon hearing that she was his fan, generously showcased his latest R&D result to them, a cutting-edge chip that could do anything and drive anything. However, Jack scoffed, saying that this thing would only cause more people to lose their jobs. Little did he know that he himself would become the first person to use this chip. On the way home, the smart car suddenly malfunctioned and took them down a narrow alley. Seeing this, the two immediately stepped on the brakes, but it was completely useless. The car not only didn't stop, it suddenly accelerated and crashed into a roadblock. In the next second, their car instantly flipped over. Just then, a group of unfriendly mystery men suddenly appeared. They roughly pulled Jack and his wife out of the car. Jack, thinking they were robbers, hurriedly indicated that his wallet was in the car and begged them to let his wife go. However, these men had absolutely no interest in money. They immediately shot and killed Jack's wife, then turned the gun on Jack and fired. Fortunately, Jack didn't die. He survived after emergency treatment. Unfortunately, he was paralyzed in all 4 limbs and could only live in a wheelchair from then on. This made him despair for a while. The only belief that kept him going now was to avenge his wife. So, accompanied by his mother, he went to the police station to follow up on the investigation results. But the outcome was not satisfactory. Detective Annie said they only had a list of suspects at the moment. The suspects had used technical means to avoid facial recognition by the patrol drones, so they didn't have definitive evidence to arrest them. Hearing this, Jack fell into despair again. He had originally thought he could avenge his wife, but now the police were saying there was nothing they could do. Helpless, he could only choose death. After returning home, he kept having the robot inject him with tranquilizers, wanting to end his own life. However, the robot was not stupid. Detecting the drug overdose, it quickly contacted an ambulance and sent Jack to the hospital. Just as he was in the depths of despair, David suddenly found Jack and said there was a way to help him. They were currently experimenting with technology to integrate chips with biology, and they hoped Jack could become a volunteer to join their experiment. At first, Jack refused. After all, he had been opposed to this kind of technology his whole life. But then, thinking of his tragically deceased wife, Jack still joined the experiment. After all, this was the only way to avenge his wife.